Cleveland Browns have made it into the NFL playoffs for the first time in 18 long years.
Going deep, and he's got Braylon Edwards. Oh, he dropped the ball. An NFL high 12th dropped pass.
You suck, you jackass.
Colin Sexton has the Cavs last 17 points, looking for 20. Oh, my!
You're tuning into the We Like Sports Podcast with Austin, Keith, Peyton, and Riggs. Make sure to stay tuned for your latest sports news on the We Like Sports Podcast.
In my nose. I don't want to play no more.
Why don't you shut the hell up?
And welcome to the We Like Sports Podcast with myself, Riggs. This is Peyton Vince. This is Austin. Howard here in the house. We're live from Hooligans Gym. Shout out to KM Voice. Shout out and happy birthday and rest in peace to Mr. Dick Goddard himself, Cleveland's own best damn meteorologist here in the state of Ohio. So we're going to get started with the tip-off, gentlemen.
Since it's his birthday, shouldn't they make the announcement that he's going to be the logo on the Browns helmet?
Don't play with me. That's my legit reaction.
Don't play with me. Don't do it. Don't you play with me.
We got a great show for everybody here today. We're going to get started with the tip-off. Now, today's tip-off conversation is about Tiger Woods. Now, if you've seen in the news what's happened with Tiger Woods, thank goodness that he's okay and he is alive. But let's get downright and let's get a little dirty. Let's try to dig into this. Do you think he was under the influence in anything? Do you think it was stress? But once again, I want to thank goodness that he is okay and he survived that accident.
Well, apparently from some of the guys that I've been, since I've been working at the bar so much lately. First off, shout out our Sunday home for Browns mornings. What a couple of guys are saying is apparently the car he was driving has just historically really bad suspension, and going around those curves in California, they kind of think that it could happen to almost anybody if you're driving that type of vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, obviously it's a different, aspect and a different thought if he wasn't okay. But, now it makes you wonder a step further, why were you driving that fast around curves in California? The area he was in, he was in, street, and there's a bunch of, trees and bushes and whatnot. And it's all right, well, how careless were you while you were driving? Obviously, it's, what was yesterday? Tuesday? It's a Tuesday morning out in California. Lovely day, probably, which finally, for once in Ohio, we actually have that. But it's makes you wonder, like, what was going on. Like, right away, everybody's like, all right, was he drunk driving? Was he doing this? And it wouldn't be conversation now if he wasn't okay. But this is something that about a year ago, this is when Kobe Bryant passed away, about a year and a month ago. And now you're looking at the golfing legend, Tiger Woods, and it's like, all right, you had the basketball legend pass away. What if something bad happened to Tiger? And I think that's what a lot of people were concerned about. And now, obviously, the thought process is, all right, he's okay now, but what was the motive behind it? Yeah. Did his ex-wife cut the brakes?
Oh, well, that would have been crazy. But
I mean, sure, he threw a 9-iron through his back windshield or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
She did, true. Yeah, and like you said, not to piggyback off what you said, when I seen that from a high-angle view, California, the hills, the mountains, I thought of the Kobe Bryant accident, and I was, I'm not that much of a golf fan, but I respect him as an athlete and as a human being, and I was hoping that Tiger Woods was going to be okay, because at the end of the day, if you don't like golf, the man is a human being with a family. He's human. You got to show some type of moral respect for that guy,
And absolutely, like you said, it was a Tuesday morning. I mean, what are the odds that he's out partying? I mean, we've all had a crazy lifestyle at one point or another in our life, but who on Tuesday morning is that under the influence to take their car off a cliff like that? I mean, that was
Tuesday.
I mean, that was just something that when I heard the news and heard about it, like that made a big impact on the world of golf. And I never seen golf get talked about so much over the course of 24 hours than, unfortunately, seeing the greatest of all time, possibly. Like it was like what happened. Like when we heard about the Kobe Bryant's crash, like that's all you could think about.
And I think
is he alive or dead? And that's all you could think about for a solid 45 minutes. And I had that same feeling with Tiger Woods yesterday.
And I think that's why people were I think that's why it was more of a concern, because like it's Tiger Woods. Not to say there's drama, but like this isn't the first time he's been in the big spot of media because of something. And like right away, it's like, all right, if this didn't happen to Kobe Bryant, would this have as much attention? Yes, in a way, but I don't think people would jump to the conclusion of, well, shit, is Tiger Woods gonna be alive? Like it was that kind of like that eye-opening thing. Like, all right, well, it happened to Kobe Bryant. Who else could this happen to? Like you end up thinking that negative aspect, and thankfully, like you guys said, he's okay. That's good news. But, like, my main concern now, too, just over the weekend, I think I had him on his background noise, and he had an interview with whatever golf tournament was this weekend, and he was saying, like, hey, I'm skipping out on the Masters. And I'm like, I just saw this, man. And then on Tuesday, he's in a car crash, and who knows if he's around. But on top of that, does he golf again? Like, right now, his legs are in really bad shape, and it's a hip sport, but at the same time, does he end up golfing again?
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. To be completely honest with you, I really do not see him being able to golf again. He's had such a history of back problems alone that has kept him out for several different years in several different time periods, and just a broken fibula, all this different stuff he has to deal with. I just don't think he physically can recover from this to play, a tour season. I mean, you're talking 4 days a week plus at least, 10 hours a day of practice.
And I mean, when you're out there, it's not a quick run. You're playing 18 instead of a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. thing. It's a long day. This
isn't the We Like Sports podcast crew going out on a Sunday morning, drinking a couple Coors Lights John Daly style, riding around golf courts. No, he's walking that entire course.
Exactly. Like the competitive aspect of that athlete, Tiger Woods, I don't want to think that he's going to let this car accident bring him down, because at the end of the day, the man's going to have golfing in his blood. Now, it might give him a setback in his game, which he can improve on, and maybe with the good rehab and doctors and his golf team, like anything's possible. This right here can maybe be a comeback for Tiger Woods as a final run. Like, oh, he survived a car wreck. He came back and won one more tournament, and now he can go off into the sunset. So
yeah, and
I honestly think that Tiger Woods just, after this situation, obviously his name is in the news once again. I would just hang up the clubs and go be a celebrity. Go be a celebrity like the way you want to be. You live that celebrity lifestyle for years now. Go be that man. Go be an actor. Go do whatever. Make special appearances. Go be that man. Take a break from golf and go live your life. You've done plenty for the sport.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, on top of that, like, I think that's the right approach. Like, he already did his thing. Keith is waving while on a business phone call, and he's
good at keep his focus. He's a real professional.
Hey, I thought you wanted a shout out. That's usually what you end up doing is you ask for shout outs. So that's why I figured I got the guy that's behind the glass and just taking the first segment off because that's what hard workers do. Anyways, going back to the Tiger Woods topic, I think it makes sense for him to end up retiring because
Payne, just so you know, the camera's that way. It's not on me. I know I'm good
I'm
looking.
talking
and
to
everything.
you guys
I know
I'm
I'm
looking.
Good, I know I'm good looking and all, but you know the camera's that way.
You're
Mr.
reminding me a
Professional.
lot like Parker Pierce.
I'm just telling you where it is. I don't know.
I know the camera's right there. I'm pretty sure somebody told us that about a year ago, and I'm not willing to find out where the camera is at, okay? You don't have to tell me to look into the camera.
Well, I was told that I was the one not looking into the camera by this guy a lot last year, so...
Which made it seem kind of impossible since you're center stage, but...
But anyways, as I was saying, because apparently, according to Austin, I have to stare into the camera. What I was saying is
Don't you see that close-up of you? Tyler, can we get a close-up of him? I see a great close-up. Look at how beautiful that pale white skin is of his.
And that receding hairline. God bless.
Have you seen the barber?
Cisco, I have not
barber?
seen. We were trying to today, but he was busy. So, I mean, it's about time. The beard's still there. We'll get to that in a minute. But I think with Tiger Woods, what your best option is he won the Masters, was it last year before everything shut down or 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. And it was something that nobody really predicted. Like, it was all right. Tiger Woods is already written off. His career's over with. That's what everybody thought. It's impossible for him to actually have success. He wins the Masters because they ended up, I think it was 2 years ago because they bumped it early because it was an early morning tournament for once. But I think it's a smart decision for him to retire because it's about time. Like, it's about that time. You're in your mid-40s almost. You've done it already. You've got to play golf with your kid, too, on top of it. So it's like, okay, I already did everything I need to do. Now maybe I could just focus on my son and teach him the ways.
Yep. And
Tiger, it's passing of the torch.
Tiger, just so you know, there is a seniors tour, bud. They don't play nearly as much. Go play on the seniors tour.
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid point. So, on top of the fact, before we get into the ring, it's going to be Parker against Riggs.
Who?
The last I remember, don't I face Stephen R?
Wait, hold on. I forgot that Parker left the show. Parker left the show.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I said it, and why aren't you in here? But anyways, with Get in the Ring, are you going to end up fighting for that spot this week, or are we just going to have a discussion, or is it going to be Austin against you? Because Austin hasn't been around for a minute.
That's okay. I had such a long title run, and when great champions lose their title, they need some time to refocus and get their groove back. So, you know what? I'll get my rematch under my rematch clause in my contract when I decide I want my rematch.
Wait, hold on. Who are you?
Austin.
So you mean Parker?
That was the old guy, but I'm a natural-born champion. I walked in as a champion, and you know what? Apparently I lost the first time. So, you know what? I get my rematch whenever I want.
So we don't have to do Get in the Ring because it's going to be Stephen R. against Riggs. But for some reason, Stephen R.'s been running late. He can't actually be on time today. I think his flight was delayed or something from Arizona is what he said.
Arizona. He's taking the Uberist lift to the studio at the moment, so I don't know.
An Uberist lift.
Yes,
okay.
He's taking an Uberist lift.
So anyways, the topic I want to hit on, it's something that we haven't really had a chance to discuss. But before we go into that, I want to give a shout out to my guy Cisco the Barber, 440-320-2691. We go to him for our haircuts, so make sure you do the same. He'll do the lineup, he'll do the beard, he'll do the haircut itself. He'll do everything for you.
And he will make you look a lot better than Peyton.
And that phone number is 440-320-2691 or Cisco DeBarber on Instagram. On that note, thou guys, two words combined didn't really work. Anyways, on that note, Brian Shaw back to the Cleveland Indians. I feel like we haven't hit on this. Keith and I have hit on it, but from what I've heard, I don't know if it's true, false, whatever. I heard that Brian Shaw was offered a major league contract for, I think, the Rockies. And Terry Francona wanted Brian Shaw back because he ended up, that's your veteran guy. That's already the time you had. And he said, hold on a minute. You have a major league contract? Let me call up Chris Antonetti. Let me talk to him and let's get a deal in place. And now he's back on a minor league contract.
This is absolutely an amazing move for the Cleveland Indians. And even though Brian Shaw broke our hearts in 2016 by giving up in the 10th inning, that double down the line and all that nonsense, you got to understand it from this point of view. The Indians are, and all of Major League Baseball is coming off a small, tiny fraction of a season with that 60-game schedule, okay? Are you going to go with a six-man rotation this year with your pitching staff? Because how many of these guys, after taking a year off and only pitching 50, 60 innings, are you really going to have your 200-inning guys this year in the major leagues? No, you need that inning eater. He eats up innings. He pitches. He throws every single day, it seems. You need that guy in the bullpen that eats up that amount of innings, especially with this season coming in where I don't see any starters getting over 200 innings pitched.
So would you call Brian Shaw a workhorse?
He is.
I mean, look
He's
at
a
it,
workhorse. He's a workhorse that you trust in most situations, just not in the top of the 10th inning in the World Series.
Game 7 of the World Series. Yeah, let's not bring that up, although we brought it up twice now. Anyways, though, like you were saying with like the inning eater, when he was with the Indians last, he had like 75 appearances, and there's only a 162-game season. That's more than half almost.
That's insane for a relief pitcher. Absolutely insane.
I believe that does show trust from your manager. Like, hey, like,
and he was a 3.0 ERA guy. He was
then,
right around 3 every single year. Like, that's what you want out of your bullpen late relief guy.
So with the Cleveland Indians bullpen, now going a step further. Obviously, I don't think Keith and I have hit on this yet, but we'll get to that when he comes back from his quick business call. Anyways, the thoughts on the Cleveland Indians bullpen, where is it at? Like, obviously, like, it's very young. You don't have too much veteran leadership. That's why you bring in a guy like Brian Shaw at this point. Mm-hmm. But you have pretty much your setup guy, a rookie, Emmanuel Clase, and then you have your closer, James Karinchak. You don't have Brad Hand. You barely got Oliver Perez back. That's in a minor league contract, and he's probably going to end up doing the same thing, but that's it. You only have like 4 certainties, and then everybody else that's kind of in a new situation now.
I mean, I'm really excited to see what Karinchak can actually do out of the closer position. I mean, the kid's got fire. He's got that Ricky Vaughn look to him. He just brings it. I mean, that is the guy that you want to trust going in there in the 9th inning, even though he's young, even though he had a rough outing in the playoffs last year. But that dude can get that strikeout in any situation at any time, and that's what your closer needs to be able to do. I'm sick of having these Brad Hand, wild, but he didn't, like in his last year, he threw a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He was nowhere near the 94, 95 that he was in San Diego in his first year in Cleveland. He was a hit-for-contact guy, and that's the reason he blew so many saves last season.
How I'm looking at this Cleveland Indians bullpen, I'm going to compare it to, and this is crazy, I'm going to compare it to Saved by the Bell versus Saved by the Bell the college years. Now, you're used to the throwbacks, which is the bullpen that we're used to. Now you got fresh faces. Everybody's young, and some people might not be on board with it, but give it a chance. Give it a try. Do some research and some homework on these guys before you just want to, judge Terry Francona's decision on the bullpen. So I look at it as these are the new kids on the block that I'm willing to give a chance to because we might need some youth in this bullpen, like with Brian Shaw being that crafty, veteran back there.
Go on.
And that's what I'm really excited with these young guys is you have, Emmanuel Clausen and Karinchak that go 8 inning, 9 inning, you're seeing nothing but high 90s fastball.
You're seeing heat. That's all you're getting.
And that's going to make starters better because I mean, you game plan one way for somebody, but then you also have that in your mind like, oh, everything's going to change once I get into those later innings. People are going to have a different mindset and have to attack the starters in a different way than they wanted to because they're like, oh, I don't want to have to face that heat in the late innings. Aroldis Chapman.
Yep.
Trust me.
Look at literally
nobody wants to have to face that heat in the late innings, so you're going to have to go out there, have a different strategy at the plate to take advantage of any mistake those starters, which means they're going to be over-aggressive. They're going to have a whole different mindset because the great teams, the teams that have those guys in the 8th and 9th inning that, you got to lead in the 7th inning, you're winning 95% of your games.
Yeah, I mean, literally, as you were mentioning that, the way the Indians are set up now are they have, similar to the Yankees bullpen, when they had Andrew Miller in the bullpen, you had Dylan Betances, and then you had Aroldis Chapman. Dylan Betances threw in the upper 90s, Chapman was in the upper 90s, and Andrew Miller threw in the mid-90s, and he was filthy. Yeah. Like, he was just somebody that you didn't want to face, and that's your 7, 8, and 9. If you could find a guy for the 7th inning, too, maybe it's a prospect that you don't even know that you have yet, but maybe this is when spring training, like Anthony Ghost, for example, he's a dude that played center field and now he's a bullpen. He's a pitcher. Like, how does that work? It obviously it's common in baseball at
He
times.
ghosted his way out of the outfield.
He ghosted? Oh my god.
Just like all the ladies do out of your DMs.
It's been a while. He hasn't been here in a while, but he's still got jokes. It's okay. We still know who's here. Austin. But anyways,
Sorry, I'm a bartender now. I'm a little bit more witty.
yeah, you're a little bit more of an ass. I got it. But anyways, on another note too, this is something that's going to be a topic. I feel like what's going to be a pretty heavy topic this week. There's been reports that down in Florida, not Arizona, because this is where Francisco Lindor's spring training's at now, is in Florida. When he was asked pretty much about, did you give up last year? He stopped hitting the weight room, he said. Pretty much at the end of the year, he gave up because the contract situation, you had the playoffs. What are your guys' thoughts on that? And that's just something like this is just going to end up going a little bit deeper later on because I'm sure Keith has a rant about this. I'm sure we're going to have something that's going to start and it's not going to finish by the end of the show.
You know what I absolutely love the most about this comment that he made? Francisco, you just screwed yourself out of millions and millions and millions of dollars. Are you serious? You think somebody's going to put 10 years... $350 million on a guy who admits to not working hard? Are you serious? You just cost yourself $50 million at least by saying that comment.
What I look at it as, that was his personal frustration on top of what we all went through in the year 2020. You know, there's no fans in attendance for baseball, which that doesn't give him no coward-ass excuse on not hitting the weight room and everything like that because you played baseball probably around less people than that on a hot-ass island. So he did most likely put his foot in his mouth. There are some things that you just should not say to the media, and you should just keep it in the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he looks ugly in those orange and blues down there. I'm sorry.
But I think the thing is that's the most irritating for me is the people out there, and if you're one of these people, don't take it to heart, but you're not that smart giving him an excuse. Because when you're saying, oh, well, COVID-19 happened last year, everybody was a little bit off. Everybody wasn't themselves, this and that. Yeah, we get that. But at the same time, though, you are getting paid to play a child's game. So, in reality, that doesn't matter. You're getting paid to work out. You're getting paid to play baseball. This is your job. This is your career. And you're giving up on your career and you're 24, 25. You're still young. That big contract, you still might get it, but you're not getting Manny Machado type numbers. You're not getting Bryce Harper type numbers. You're not getting Fernando Tatis numbers either. And that's $300 million for 14 years that the Padres are just dishing out, which I'm sure we'll get to that too. But you gave up on a team that I don't even care about the fact that you gave up on the team. You gave up on the fans when the fans couldn't even see you, and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah. That you were such a big fan favorite, Frankie. Like, seriously, like, now what if it doesn't work out down there in Queens with the Mets? Now other teams might not want to pick you up because the way you ran your mouth. Now us being Cleveland, Ohio, we're used to giving people second chances. So maybe you could have possibly screwed yourself for a second chance to end your career off on a I'm going to retire smiley run. But once again, some things should just be kept in the locker room said amongst the people in the clubhouse.
Now, real quickly, I heard you mention about, Fernando Tatis, and they had Manny Machado, and they just traded for Blake Snell. The Padres are doing things that mid-market teams never, ever do.
This was a trading partner for the Indians at one point. That's what they looked at.
They are literally embarrassing every single mid-market team in the MLB. And, hey, you know what? If Frankie needs a year off, could you see the Indians possibly using all this cap money they're saving right now and maybe trying to make a deal for Frankie, kind of like the way with the Aroldis Chapman deal? Remember when Aroldis Chapman went to the Cubs? Traded to the Cubs just for the season, rent for a year, and then they re-signed Aroldis Chapman. He's been their closer ever since. Could you see that possibly happen with Frankie?
Here's the thing.
If the Indians decide to try to match what, other mid-market teams are starting to do.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is about a week ago, I'd say absolutely, I'm all for it. But once you admit the fact that you gave up on the team the first time around, that's what makes me not want to have you back in this organization. Yeah. If I'm going to be the one signing your paycheck, you're going to be the one that's going to bust your ass on the field because that's your job. That's not my job to play for you. That's your job to go on the field, play, hit the weight room. And when you say, his exact quote was after last year, not putting in work, he said, I just got tired. I didn't show my best I didn't do my best in the weight room, and it showed. How are you doing that as an athlete? You get tired in the shortest season, 60 games, and you're tired. You played 162 games, 163 games for many years, and then the year that it's shortened.
I would even say it's even over the past 2 seasons. I mean, look at how poorly he's performed in the playoffs over the past 2 or 3 years.
He does not deserve the big contract, and I've been saying that. He does not deserve anywhere near Fernando Tatis's money because with the Mets, if you end up extending him, good. Do it because he's not worth that in my mind. I would rather extend somebody like Shane Bieber because his contract's going to be expensive pretty soon. Jose Ramirez, you got Roberto Perez, which hasn't even been mentioned yet, but he's lost weight in the offseason, and he said he's in the best shape of his life. So who knows what that means after being a regular starter 2 years ago and had 20-plus home runs. I'm intrigued to see the Indians, but if you're bringing back Francisco Lindor, I'm going backwards, and I don't want to go backwards just for a possible 5-year, 10-year deal because what's that team going to look like around you? You're not going to have the same scenario like the Padres when you have $300 million at third, $300 million at short, $30 million at second, and like $250 million at first. That is not the way Cleveland works. That's not the way the Dolans work. That's not the way this is going to work for us. I'd love to have it, but it's not going to happen.
Valid.
That was my mini rant. My bad.
No, that was good. Like Frankie said, he had no motivation in the gym. So what does your pre-workout need to be? Extra Benjamins in your little shaker cup? Get over it, sweetheart. Like seriously.
Like you saw. Here's the thing. Like I think everybody would understand this too if you work out. If you hit the weight room, look what Francisco Lindor did, or Jose Ramirez even, because you have it's about bat speed for home runs, and we hit on that last week. But also it's about the power behind the bat too. When you ended up not lacking in the weight room, look at your numbers. You had Jose Ramirez in a regular year. Last year in a shortened season, he had like 20 home runs. You think he hit the weight room? Hell yeah, he did. Francisco Lindor, years ago, as in 2, when it was a normal season, but it feels like 10, he had 30 home runs, 25 home runs. You're not going to see those numbers if you're not going to be in the weight room. And what was his production like last year? What was his home run numbers? He had off strong, but in the end, what was the numbers like? He ended up going on a steady decline. You weren't getting home runs. You weren't having clutch moments from a guy that's supposed to be your franchise player. I mean, honestly, you go in the weight room, that's part of the game. That's what you got to do pre-workout. There's supplements for that. Literally, you're going to end up being stronger if you're in the weight room. That's point blank, period. That's it.
I remember there was an Indians game maybe 3 or 4 years ago when we had Abraham Almonte. And Lindor grabbed his bat and hit a home run with Abraham's bat. Mm-hmm. And Abraham's bat is way more ounces than the average players. And Lindor was like, oh, that's what happens. I hit the weight room. I can use this big man's bat. So
it's just super frustrating to have Lindor admit. And then when you end up looking at it from a bigger scenario, maybe he could come back to Cleveland. Well, I don't want him here. It pains me to say it.
I think what it is I think the thing that I'm most upset about is how much I cared about the Indians wanting to re-sign Lindor over the past couple years. Mm-hmm. And then to hear it after he's gone, the way he felt and the way he gave up, it's like, okay, dodge that bullet.
Yeah, you dodged the drama, you dodged the bullet. See you later. Have fun in New York because they're not going to deal with your drama-filled life. You're going to be eaten alive.
Wait till the New York Times gets a hold of that.
Oh, man, that's a big market, and they're just going to just bury him, literally.
It's so frustrating. But again, like I said, this isn't going to be the only time we end up hitting on Francisco Lindor in baseball. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll talk more sports. I don't know about what yet. Riggs is going to pick the topic during break. Don't go anywhere. Riggs, what are you going to do after you're done picking the topic?
After I'm done picking the topic, right now I'm going to show off the official Manscaped shirt for the We Like Sports podcast. Manscaped, use the promo code SPORTS with DayZ. There is Keith, Keith. Promo code SPORTS with the Z, SPORTZ. Ball shaver, ball deodorant, ball toner, the Lawnmower 3.0. I would show you here, but I don't want us to get canceled. Manscaped. We like sports. We'll be right back.
Keith is back with us after this break.
Wait.
If you're
Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped, and use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
Welcome back to the We Like Sports podcast with Keith, special guest, them.
I'm Riggs. This is Peyton. This is Austin. We are live here from Hooligans here on Facebook Live. So we're going to continue with the next subject.
Time out. I want to say something really quick. It's been so cold outside that for the first time in about 3 months, I am sweating in the studio, and I'm loving the fact that I'm sweating because that just means it's nicer outside.
I am not sweating.
I am.
I'm in a long sleeve and I feel great.
You might be dying.
Someone's going to spit in my face with water.
Saying, nobody here is sweating whatsoever, and you are sweating profusely. Are you okay? Your veins are sticking out.
Well, Peyton, I think if you didn't dominate 80% of the conversation, you wouldn't be sweating so much.
My bad.
Whatever animal crawled on his face and died. Is that making you too warm?
This right here.
I don't know what
Maybe
it is.
it's called a beard.
That's not a beard.
Looks more like a possum.
There's patches in it. It looks like there's pubes missing. It's not a beard.
Anyways,
Don't call that a beard.
I'm sweating to death.
It looks better when you hear Fu Manchu.
Hey, you need to manscape that ball chin you have.
Damn.
Promo code sports with a Z.
SPRTC.
Good job.
Anyways, as we come back from break, you gotta take a deep breath. We're gonna end up talking a little bit more baseball. Keith loves baseball, and he missed out on it temporarily.
I like basketball better, but yeah.
That is a load of that is a load of BS. But anyways, as we took the break, I got an ESPN update. I was gonna say an update from ESPN. That's why I spaced it out. But Shane Bieber said that he would love to talk with the Cleveland Indians about a possible contract extension. Honestly, that's what you need to do. That's how you need to build around your rotation. This is how you build the young team. Guys, what are your thoughts? I'm going to back up and wipe my sweat.
I like the fact that this guy's not a pop star. He's a baseball player because I have Bieber fever. I appreciate, he's good. Seriously, Cookie's not there. Yeah, Frankie's not there. I like seeing a familiar face if they can progress and if they're good on the field and they can handle their business. So, yeah, Indians, why not explore that option? Just don't be cheap about it.
All I know is Terry Francona with a good starting pitching rotation wins ball games no matter who's playing for, or who he's coaching for, what the payroll is, it doesn't matter. Terry Francona has a strong pitching staff. He's winning ball games. That's the way the Indians have done it since he got here in 2014 is with a strong pitching staff. That's why he has the most wins in the American League since 2014. All about the pitching. He figures the rest out on the fly.
Well, yeah, of course. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not. I just looked at you
for
your
laughing.
feedback.
No, but if they're not going to option him or even try to, it's just that proves how bad the Dolans are when it comes to, do we care? I know you guys were talking about Lindor, but at some point are they going to, you said don't be cheap. You think they're ever going to not be cheap? They're the Dolans. Until they sell the team or until we have real ownership, yeah, they're going to be cheap. They're going to mess things up. They're not going to give Francona what he needs. They haven't been doing that since we got Francona. We make it into the playoffs. That's enough for them. They get their advertising money back, and we lose players like we did with Frankie, although I do understand what you guys were talking about.
So it seems like the ownership of the team is they want so much, but they want to give us so little.
Sure. But then they expect us to pack the stadium. I don't want to pack the stadium if you're not going to listen to us. We wanted Lindor to stay here. Mm-hmm. They should have been able to pay for it. They can offer things. This is what the Dolans want to do.
Well,
That's the problem.
Did you hear the good news? I heard that the Progressive Field is going to be allowing 30%
sellout crowd,
30% capacity. So that's 100% home field advantage for us. 100% of our normal crowd's going to be there.
100% of our 30% of 100% of the normal crowd is going to be there.
Scott Steiner, if you're listening, why don't you do this math for us?
All right, so if you got A squared plus B squared, that's math. Mm-hmm. But anyways,
you have a 100% chance of not finishing that sentence very well.
No,
Dude,
probably.
You having a heart attack? You're starting to be like, can you?
We took the same amount of pre-workout. Are you okay?
Yeah, dude, are you all right, man?
I'm thinking I'm good.
Dude, you're kind of moving antsy, holding your chest.
I'm is that the left arm? No,
What's
that's
happening?
It is the left arm.
Yeah, are you tingling?
No, I'm not. I'm just sweating.
Dude, your veins are scaring me. They're. Oh my god!
You see it going right down the middle.
Yeah.
Dude, it looks like you're transforming.
It's going from your hairline to your nose. Jesus.
Tyler, zoom in on this.
You don't want to zoom
No.
in.
I can transform you.
All right, so my hairline, which is like up here, and to my nose. Oh, it's zooming in more. Man, I'm very sweaty. All right, we're waiting, and then we're going to talk more baseball. There it is. Do you see the vein?
Yeah, it's horrible.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore at this point. But anyways, Keith, as we were talking...
Pill?
Huh?
Nitro pill?
That's a
You
hard
start-
kill.
Yeah, you have to start like wearing it as a necklace.
Why am
Oh,
I doing-
stop. Oh, no.
I'm just... No, I can't even say that right. I was going to say I'm just
Are
touching
we-
myself
Are we
with
going
the...
to break? or
Peyton,
something,
I
or
think
no?
you have an important business call to take
Yeah, I
care of.
might.
You're dying.
But anyways...
Should we call an ambulance?
No, I think we're good.
You stop sweating on me at least then?
So Keith, while you were gone, we were talking about Francisco Lindor.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about the idea that he said, "I gave up last year"?
It's a punk ass move, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. But that's the problem with all these, $300 million players, is that they want to be $300 million players, but they don't want to put the work in to be a $300 million player. And then with the mind frame of being a $300 million player, they think they can talk crap about whoever they want because any team's going to want them because they're a $300 million player. Frankie, by what he said was, I mean, you hit on it earlier when you guys were talking about it. You can't expect fans to want to be behind your back now. Like we're not gonna have your back. Get the hell out of here.
Like it took a lot for Jim Thome to come back and for us to even respect that, and that was only for half of a season.
Absolutely. But I mean, like he said he just basically quit on us. That's fine. Like you're talking about it was a shorter game, shorter season or whatever, and blah blah blah. We were in a playoff, like we were in a run. You know what I mean? Like so he gave up. So he gave up a chance at Cleveland for winning a World Series, basically, if you think about it, or going deeper in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It was a punk move. You know what I mean? And as Clevelanders, it's gonna take a lot for us to be like, yeah, dude, you're good, come on back or whatever. When he realized, and they always come back. Do you notice that? They always come back because we showed them the most love, we showed them the most loyalty, and now it's while we were in the middle of a playoff run, this dude bounced. He wasn't there mentally, he wasn't there physically.
He was there, he was just outside.
So I mean. He wants to go play for the Mets. Screw it.
I look at it like, let's go to a little bit of basketball with this Lindor situation. I look at it like this was his LeBron James, I'm walking off the field, taking off the uniform type thing. Because you remember
the Magic in 2010 or whatever?
Yeah, like that's how I look at this season with Frankie Lindor. Like if there was a camera shot of him walking through the tunnel of the dugout, unbuttoning an Indians uniform, that would have been all over ESPN.
I think we just had an aneurysm.
I did.
He's not wrong. Like, why punk us like that? Why not just, if the Indians weren't going to entertain it, okay, fine, we weren't entertained. But this is how, and I told you this before, this is how you know he didn't like Cleveland as much as he proclaimed to, because we were offering him incentives that not many people get. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, when the whole city has to give you a damn discount when you go out to eat. Are you telling? You know what I mean? Like that was on the table. How do they even put that on the table?
How's that even an option? What if I own a restaurant? How is that going to be in effect? Because you have to talk to me too, because that's my restaurant. If I'm looking at it from a business point of view,
well, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like that's how bad we wanted him to stay. Was nobody questioned those things?
No,
nobody questions what restaurant's going to have to. How do you enforce that?
Right, like, we don't do one for Army or veterans, but I'll do one for you, Frankie.
Exactly.
Right, like that will piss people off.
Yeah. And that's
you played baseball,
and
that's what exactly. But like, it's so frustrating to see that like he left, and I think we're understanding that it's out of our control. See you later, adios, goodbye. We don't want you here. Don't come back because he's going to end up taking less money somewhere else. This is what's going to happen. Give it a year. He's going to take less money somewhere else. It's going to be for rings on his finger and not about the money when he could have won and had a dynasty with the Indians if you ended up having the type of team that you had, because that youth, the pitching behind it, your hitting, you could have ended up having Lindor. You take less money, but we could end up having guys like Jose Ramirez. We could end up maybe getting an Andrew Benintendi. We could end up getting maybe... name another hitter. I don't care.
See, I was disappointed that we didn't find anybody to replace Edwin Encarnacion's salary. The $20 million a year for 3 years. If they would have put the money into another bat, $20 million a year over 3 years, you could have gotten somebody really good to bolster that lineup over the past couple years.
And I think the thing is with like Edwin Encarnacion too is that what's irritating is you signed him not long term, but it was a player that you would never have gotten for the longest time.
Right.
And then when you end up getting him, what honestly was the highlight of Edwin Encarnacion? He was never
The
really
parrot.
clutch. He was never really clutch. He didn't have any monumental home runs.
I'll tell you what it was. His batting average and the amount of home runs he hit in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That dude probably put up 15 home runs a year in Minnesota alone. It was crazy.
But that's about it. Like, when it comes to,
he helped you win ball games. He got you to the dance, and then he got hurt in his first year. Remember, rolling his ankle?
Man, the
At
first,
second base the first year, and then he was just another guy in the lineup.
Like, and I remember him more as another guy in the lineup, and I think that's the downfall.
Yeah, but that's what you need. That's the key is you got to extend your lineup. Yeah, I'd rather have another guy in the lineup than having your 8-hitter just be complete trash. You got to extend
Jordan
the
Luplow.
lineup with guys like that.
We don't even.
But like
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You got to put together a good enough quality players so where you don't have those guys, the Mendoza line, hitting 7 and 8 for you, even 9. You need that. You got to just have those at least above average to good, players that can produce to extend your lineup.
And I think why it's becoming more of like a topic now with Lindor, with the lineup. Obviously, baseball's right around the corner. We got a month. Spring training, pitchers and catchers are already there. We have the first game, I think, Saturday with the intra squad on Friday. But you have, and Keith and I think, ended up talking about this, but we never got Riggs' opinion and Austin's. Eddie Rosario coming to Cleveland. Honestly, I like it, but I don't like it, but I don't like it because it doesn't show you believe in your youth. You don't believe in Daniel Johnson. You don't believe in the possibility of having Nolan Jones in the outfield. Oscar Mercado's already pretty much forgotten. Bradley Zimmer.
Have any of them done anything at all to give you that reason to believe in them? Have they done anything at all at the major league level? You know what Eddie Rosario has done? Hit .350 in Progressive Field against Indians pitching, and it's been one of the most dominant in the league over the past 5 seasons. That's what Eddie Rosario has done. And if we could have him hitting in Progressive Field half the games, I'll take it. He's a left-handed bat, short porch and right. Ideal.
Like, when I've heard of Eddie Rosario coming to the Tribe, that's the first thing I thought of was like, okay, I know this guy can hit in our field all day, every day. So I'm glad he's actually playing for our team this time, and hopefully he can progress and not get lazy.
It's almost like signing Elvis Andrus. Elvis Andrus, he made his career off hitting in Cleveland. I mean, the guy is hitting over 400 in Cleveland.
So maybe it's the air. Maybe this is the scene that he needs to, get over some type of like. I'm not trying to say he's at like a hump or a plateau. Maybe he wants to get more than 17 or 18 home runs in a season, and maybe being in Progressive Field playing can help that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that also with Eddie Rosario signing yesterday morning, Terry Francona, according to Zach Mizell of The Athletic, said that when he spoke to Eddie Rosario, he said it's so nice to not hate you anymore because you're playing for us.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that makes sense because when you end up literally killing the Indians in all of their games, it gives you hope, but at the same time, what worries me down the line is, let's say he is successful, with the Indians after this Lindor situation, are they going to be able to sign him to like a 3-year deal, 4-year deal with the money he deserves? Or is that going to be, hey, we got to trade you halfway through this year, or when you're a free agent, you're gone. We don't have an option. That's my biggest concern because money is scary right now if you're an Indians fan, and you can't control it at all, and the Dolans rather not give a shit and doesn't care about any of their fans. And that's the downfall, and that's what sucks, but it's the truth.
Yeah, it just seems like our ownership with this baseball team, it's like they're putting on a show for themselves. It seems like it's just, you want so much, but you're giving us so little. Like, it's give and take. Like, come on.
So, I guess since we're all here, who knows when this might happen again, because life happens. Sorry. Austin's been gone working. We're all together here, family once again. Is it time now that we end up thinking and maybe giving the predictions for the Indians this year where they might end up landing at? Just because,
I don't know.
Who knows when the next time? It might be the regular season by the time we end up getting back. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the Indians this year? Where do you see them finishing at? Do you see where their predictions are? Because right now they're predicted to be in second place, a little bit above 500.
I'm going to say they're going to finish third place in the AL Central. I think they're going to finish top 5 in the AL in pitching and bottom 5 in the AL in hitting.
I would rather the Cleveland Indians just be under the radar. You don't have to be first at everything, but make some noise and show people that, hey, don't sleep on Cleveland. So progress, get better, and just stay on the radar. I want to just be that sneaky team that people just didn't even expect. Oh, who expected Cleveland to be here because no Lindor, no Cookie, no this, no this, no that. Well, guess what? We're there, and we surprised your ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very valid point. Keith and I ended up last week saying where the predictions are, that sounds about right. They're probably going to be in second place. Playoffs? Probably not, because they're not going to have this extended playoff idea. But I think we're good on baseball for now. For the last 9 minutes of the segment.
That was a good baseball-heavy segment.
Keith is so happy. I think he's actually like, I don't even know. There's like rainbows coming. Like I see the special effects.
I see him sweating. He's sweating. No, wait, never mind. You're just rubbing against him.
Yeah, are you okay? Dude, you're starting to bother me because I have to mop this. Like, this is gross. Please
Give me the
stop
mop.
dripping on me.
Give me the mop.
No. You want to talk about how you
No, because
clean
then the
things?
mop handle will be sweaty.
Yeah, no.
That is true.
That is true. Basic chores. Why would I think you're going to be able to mop for me? That's what I mean. He can't do basic chores. I told him to take the garbage out last time.
I forgot about
the
that
whole garbage
last
can
week.
away. Like, he threw my whole like, Tyler's right. Peyton did such a crappy job, and he did it on purpose in hopes that I would never ask him to do it again. So he was like, all right, will he get mad about a $1.50 trash can, and I'll never have to do this? Or,
Oh, my God.
And see, your veins are popping out, and you're red, real bad red.
No, hold
Like
on.
red as your
What
shirt.
happens is, let's say this is like the trash can, right? And I go.
Don't throw his phone away.
No, were you nervous about the trash pandas?
Yes, I was. I literally, as Keith,
But that's still,
I flipped it and I'm like, oh. And like I went to like dump the trash in, and the trash went in the dumpster, and there was a snow pile that's like this big. So I was leaning, and as I'm leaning, the trash just like slipped out of my hand, like the bin, and the trash bin went in the trash dumpster, and there's no longer a trash dumpster or can, whatever. There's no trash anymore.
Dude, I think you're having a stroke. For one, like literally, he did such a poor job doing a basic chore that he knows I'll never ask him to do anything like that again. So you succeeded. You owe me $1.50, but you succeeded. You basically paid $1.50.
Where's he
for me not
supposed to get that
actually
kind of
do
money
anything.
from?
Manscaped.
Anyways,
promo code sports with the Z, SPORTZ. Seriously, I'm being dead serious. I shaved my balls like 3 weeks ago, and I'm not gonna say
I
that.
shaved mine literally 3 nights
Maybe you're
ago.
gonna say
It's smooth. No, because I'm definitely not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Check this out.
Whoa! My dumbass! Oh
that's live on camera too. We're gonna play that.
no! I said.
so Riggs, how big is Austin?
Wow. Now you're making me sweat.
I'm still sweating. Anyways, fan-controlled football, guys. What are your thoughts?
To me, that's just very asinine. Like I'm the professional athlete. I cannot wait for Stephen R to talk about this. As me being like, that's just. Is that micromanaging? Is that like why would I have some Joe Schmo sitting on his couch eating goobers and gumdrops picking my plays for me? Like
Goobers
that
and gumdrops.
chocolate covered peanuts.
So you're not excited about this at all?
I mean that's cool, but that's just weird. Like if I'm
I thought they only did that in the Pro Bowl.
and if I'm
No, fan-controlled football is its own league, and it's ran by Johnny Manziel and his cronies.
and if I'm an
Pretty
athlete,
Wait a minute, you've never heard about this?
No.
All right, so last week we talked about it.
What?
Fan-controlled football, the fans are getting to pick the plays, and Johnny Manziel is the biggest name in this league. So in reality, it's going to crash in about 3 weeks.
That's why I'm like,
Google it.
why are we even talking about this?
Because
sounds
it's
absolutely
fan-controlled
awful.
So, like,
football.
if you win the world championship, I just want to give a shout out to my boy Phil, 2645 in Philadelphia, eating that cheese sandwich for picking that RPO play, bro. This one's for you. Like, that's just.
I'll go on the stream later on, and I'll end up giving you a shout out with my trophy.
So are audibles illegal? Like what happens if a fan decides to punt on third down? Like, like what the fuck? Like,
I don't want this.
Can you
Are you
imagine?
serious?
No, you know what's gonna happen, which they haven't thought about yet. I guarantee this hasn't really like came up. You're gonna have people who bet on the game,
Yeah.
and then purposely call the like
That
the
has
dumbass
on,
plays.
second down.
That
you know
has
what
to
I
be
mean? Or something
so
like,
illegal. That has to
Yeah.
be so illegal.
That's not in the sports almanac from Back to the Future.
like I don't.
You see our age? Because I don't think you caught that. Have
No,
you seen Back?
I've seen pieces and parts, but no.
Not a Back to the Future.
Not a big guy on Back to the Future.
Our
Barely even
producer
in the present.
needs a car jack because his jaws hit the floor.
Yeah. Oh
Do
my
you need a
god.
bottle of water?
Huh?
Do you need a bottle?
He's got water.
Not a sponsor.
Full bottle gone in 30 seconds.
30, yeah,
Like,
that's why you're
Jesus.
sweating so bad.
Why? Because I'm drinking water?
That's what people with a heart. I don't know why, but I wanted to hit your face real bad right there. Like, just punch it.
Dude,
Oh,
you need
man.
to go outside and just put your face in some snow real quick.
There's not much out there.
There's some. There's a whole pile up by the dumpster. Go play with the garbage pandas.
The garbage
Garbage
pandas.
pandas.
Wait, hold on. Bad news, guys. Seriously. Johnny Manziel is not playing in fan-controlled football this week.
Oh, no.
He is having surgery on Thursday.
What
Wait, when
surgery
does
is
the
he
league
having?
start? Did it already
It already
start?
started. Play
Uh,
it. Tyler, do you still have that video that we played before?
We'll play it. We're gonna take a quick break.
No,
we're gonna
we're
end
not.
up. Yes, we are. Shut your mouth.
Hey, he
Nigga.
needs a break, man. He needs one.
You're right.
Yeah, water
Look at
break
him.
again. But anyways, fan-controlled football.
Ooh, that white tiger alternate helmet and the Bengals?
We'll talk about that too. But anyways, Riggs, what are you gonna do in between break?
In between breaks when I'm not around these guys, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to get permission from Hooligans Gym and I'm going to manscape and I'm going to clean up after myself because I'm not a slob. Manscaped, SPORTZ, ball toner, ball shaver, ball deodorant, and you get the Lawnmower 3.0. So shave your balls. Like, seriously, like when I shaved my balls and like I accidentally it felt great. Like it was just like, damn.
What
You know what my
did
favorite-
you accidentally do?
Like,
accidentally shave your shit?
No, I put my hand in my pants on accident and
Like it
I
was an
just said
accident.
that.
My favorite part about Manscaped is I can do it in the shower. That way it doesn't
I've
leak.
never done it in the shower.
It's amazing. It's got that flashlight too, so I can see around my huge junk and all that. The flashlight really helps. There's a shadow.
Oh!
The flashlight helps.
The flashlight or the flashlight?
There's a flashlight on the
What
Manscaped 3.0 lawnmower.
Yeah, Keith, you should know.
It helps with those
Oh, no, I
shadows.
don't use it.
No? Why'd we get you a free one then?
I don't know.
Anyways,
Tyler
Tyler,
uses-
I use it
uses
all
it.
the time.
see, that's what I
Oh,
thought.
yeah.
Oh, Tyler uses your Manscaped kit?
We share it. What's wrong with that?
Ball hair everywhere. Manscaped, promo code sports with the Z, SPORTZ. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, we're talking fan-controlled football and other sports.
If you're
Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTSWITHAZ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped, and use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
And welcome back to the We Like Sports podcast with not Peyton.
Yeah, somebody went to go get an EKG checked on his chest. That's why he's not here.
He was dying.
Yeah, he was.
More water.
Yeah, he looked rough for a minute. But hey, guess what? Now it's the best part of the show. You know, where the real analysts know what we're talking about, kind of, as long as we don't stutter over ourselves. What are we talking about, Riggs?
Where's Stephen R. Smith?
Stephen, that's Peyton went to go pick him up from his Uber Lyft.
I just say he was going to get chest compressions.
Well, that too. Like, they're doing that all in one with each
What
other.
a good guy. He's going to go. He's going to have chest compressions because he's having a heart attack. Mm-hmm. But he's going to go pick you, Stephen R. Smith, up. I'm really confused.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I've been for the past. See, ever since you, Parker Pierce, left. Everybody. Yeah, I know. Don't do that.
Huh?
Everybody. No. Stop it. Stop it. I know it's both of you. I know.
So NBA, so the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing the. I believe we're playing the Cleveland. We are playing against the Houston Rockets.
Wait a minute. What are you doing? No, we're not going to talk about NBA for this segment. We don't have Peyton. Can we talk about some Browns news about like?
Oh yeah, some free agency.
Some free agency.
Dude, we are screwing his notes all kinds up.
Okay, would you rather, if we can't get J.J. Watt, would you take Von Miller?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I'm not expecting the same Von Miller from Denver.
I'm not expecting the same J.J. Watt. I mean, either way, they're both injury prone. Either way, they're both in their 30s. Either way, you're paying for the name and for possibly a spark in the playoffs when you can get them healthy. I mean, that's all it is you got to be able to win to get to the playoffs and then hope that they can produce in the playoffs.
What I've been hearing rumors is that JJ's Mrs. Watt is secretly wanting her husband to go play for Green Bay or play for Chicago, because I don't know if that's where her career choices are within those two states in that area. But they do say happy wife, happy life. Hopefully they can work it out, and I can see him in a Cleveland Browns jersey. When it comes to Von Miller, that is a big, solid guy. Yeah, he wears glasses that are smaller than his face. I would never tell him that in person. Great Old Spice commercials, but we're not trying to bring you to Cleveland for that. We're trying to bring you here to get us over a hump in the playoffs that we can go past the divisional and get to the AFC Championship game. And with him being a former Super Bowl champion, having that experience with a veteran, well, he played on the defensive side of the ball, but he still played with veteran guys like your Peyton Manning, and he had guys like John Elway in his ear. So who the hell knows what Kevin Stefanski can do to this man when he gets him in our system.
I'm interested to see what Kevin Stefanski can do in general in free agency, because I feel like he's a coach that I think everybody really wants to play for at this moment. And I mean, even with all the J.J. Watt news going on, and a couple weeks ago it was all about Richard Sherman. What about the tweet that Marshawn Lattimore just put out?
I'm not hip.
You're not hip?
I'm not hip.
About Marshawn Lattimore being in trade talks for New Orleans, and him saying that he wants to make put Cleveland on the map again.
Hey, that's home. That's his home.
That is
his home. Yes, he went to Glenville. Yes, that Glenville High School. That is a very great football school in the west side of Cleveland, Ohio. I've got my hair cut next to Ted East Side. Wow, I got my hair cut next to Ted Ginn Sr. one time, and that is a very humbled man. He is responsible for a good chunk of those boys in the National Football League.
Absolutely. I think adding Marshawn Lattimore opposite of Denzel Ward will pretty much solve that secondary issue that we are having right now. I mean, I like Sheldrick Redwine stepped up this year. Mm-hmm. The other guy, Ronnie Harrison.
Yeah, Ronnie Harrison.
Ronnie Harrison, he stepped up. I can't wait to see what Grant Delpit does this year, coming off, the second-round pick who had the Achilles tear in training camp last year. Full year to recover. But he was, a highly taught, prospect that we thought would make an impact in his rookie year. He was supposed to be the starter his rookie year. I can't wait to see what he does in his second year, even though he doesn't have any NFL experience yet. But obviously, the only thing I think we need to do is find that other edge rusher, since I don't think we're going to bring back Olivier Vernon. And you got to find somebody to play linebacker, boy. I'm telling you, you got to find somebody to be. I like Jacob Phillips. I thought he came on strong at the end of the year. B.J. Goodson, I don't know if he's coming back or not. He's a little older. And Mac Wilson, he wasn't much this year. I mean, he was promising last year, but if you get Marshawn Lattimore, that changes everything when it comes to free agency, because he would be a trade. And I'd be happy to give up Greedy and maybe a second-round pick for him.
Now, two things. Do you think Lattimore wants to leave because he sees that New Orleans is not going to be the same without Drew Brees? And what did you think of the Super Bowl?
That's
because
probably
we haven't seen you
it. That's
since.
probably it. Oh, the Super Bowl, trash. Everything about it, trash. Commercials, trash. Kansas City's offensive line, trash. I mean, the best.
That long since he's been here.
Yeah.
The best part about the Super Bowl was literally Tom Brady throwing the trophy to Gronk and from boat to boat. That's the only part about the Super Bowl. Oh wait, and Tom Brady's getting escorted.
Yeah, Tom was feeling. Wow, Tom was feeling himself, and I guess Mrs.
So what are you talking about,
See,
guys?
no, I think it was more the fact that it was in the Florida heat and he was drinking, not in cold New England drinking.
Oh yeah, I mean
that Florida heat, man, it gets to you.
I've never been to Florida. I can seriously believe it. Now, do you believe because it's going to relate to J.R. Smith. Do you believe if Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl, will he have like a shirtless J.R. Smith moment?
I sure hope so. When Tom Brady and the fact he was able to tweet about himself, that just made me laugh. He'd be like, "Yeah, too many seltzers. Sorry."
Too many seltzers.
Too many avocado tequilas.
How was your EKG?
Stephen R. Smith is actually waiting in the hallway. So
Where did you go?
airport.
I thought you were getting chest compressions.
Yeah, he got that
at the
in
airport.
Uber. Yeah, Cleveland Hopkins Central Catholic Hospital.
Aren't you familiar?
Yep.
I think it was the first aid stand actually.
No, I wasn't the first one.
Because you still don't look well.
You don't look well at all.
Oh, God.
That's also starting to freak. Dude, you should
I look fine.
You don't. Dude, your brain is pushing out your it's bothering me.
Fan-controlled football. We're back. You guys done talking about that bullshit?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey.
The BS. Sorry, Dad, I forgot.
The haberdashery.
The haberdashery. Damn.
That's a Stephen R. Smith thing to say.
Because he just
got a text message from Stephen R.
Right.
No, he didn't.
Dude, why didn't you give me Stephen R. Smith's number?
I had to give you his handler's number instead. We'll get there.
Got
in that
you. All right.
relationship.
Anyways,
Why would you need his number if you just picked him up?
because I had to
From the
use
airport,
Riggs'
how did you
phone.
talk to him?
I had to use Riggs' phone.
Riggs' phone was here the whole time.
Because he would
say,
awkwardly ask Stephen R. Smith for his number just the way he asks any woman out in any situation. It would just be really
true,
awkward.
But don't try to push me away from the fact that something's not right.
Dude, here's the thing. I didn't want to tell you this, but I have Stephen R. Smith's phone number.
Oh, okay.
But
So do I.
you do.
What is it? Let me call him. And let me text him real quick.
Hold on, let me go grab his phone.
Why would you? Oh my god.
Why do you need his phone for what?
I want to make sure it works.
No. Just let's go.
Anyways, no. Fan-controlled football.
Oh,
So this week,
much better topic.
yeah, very good. Let's look at this pregame interview that they actually have for fan-controlled football.
This is pretty good.
Already a front runner for MVP. Hey, man, how is your mind being focused to continue to have this hot streak that you've been having?
I just take it one day at a time, one play at a time, one game at a time. I don't try to force anything or, try to do nothing ordinary. I just try to play my game and whatever the defense give me, just take what they give me and play football.
Already a
So,
front runner.
take whatever they give me. Is that, the fans giving you plays?
He's obviously talking about the defense. You read a defense. And
The defense
whatever,
gets their plays picked by fans. You're missing the concept, Austin. Fan-controlled football. You pick the plays.
So either way, it doesn't matter what play you do. If a play breaks down, you're going to do something different than the original route. He's given what the defense is given. Option routes.
I didn't pick that. I put 4 go routes, and you're not following my lead?
Yeah, well, if you do that, then you're not going to have a product to watch.
But it's fan-controlled football. That's why it's so unique.
That's why it's gone in a month.
To me, that interview made no sense. To me, that looked like a powder puff hit that he took from that defensive guy. I've seen guys get hit playing touch football at Brookside.
Fun fact, guys. Did you know? Shout out to Hunter Fairchild, my guy that plays flag football. Did you know that actually there is flag football? That actually there is contact in flag football. Like you could block and like it's not just pulling at the flags. I didn't know that. Like when you think flag football, you're like, hey, let me just pull your flag.
It's 7-on-7. You're not gonna have 7 wide receivers out. You got to have at least 2 linemen.
But like I'm gonna end up like blocking you and making contact with you.
Yes.
And you might put me on my ass, and we're playing flag football.
Yes. Jesus, grow up, Peyton.
Kind of what I'm thinking a little bit. Is that why you play softballs? You can't
Softballs?
What? You
That's what you
softball?
said.
No, is that why you play softball?
You did not. You added an S, but go on.
It sound plural a little bit.
Okay, is that why you play the softballs?
I don't
You
play
can't
with the
fast
softballs.
pitch. Yes, you do.
I don't think I could keep up with baseball, honestly.
Yes,
I'm old, not fast.
Aren't you like 24?
I'm old, not fast.
I mean, your hairline definitely says 60.
Yeah, and it says 35 plus too for any league I'm in.
Soon I'll be 60 years old.
Anyways, guys, I don't want to take it. I know fan-controlled football, it's super unique. I want to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals' possibility of their uniform. Something they haven't really worn yet, but it makes sense for wearing it with a guy like Joe Burrow. And it's all white, and there's also the tiger stripe, too. So, Tyler, when you get a chance, if you could end up pulling that picture up, if we could end up doing that. Oh, my God, look how quick he is.
Okay.
But look at that.
When I'm gonna go from this is one thing also. After the year the Cincinnati Bengals had with your star quarterback that you drafted gets an injury, your offensive line craps the bed. What you need is a new renovation. You need to change everything around. You need to let the AFC North know, like, hey, we're the new Cincinnati Bengals because Cleveland is coming and we're on the rise. Pittsburgh, who really knows what they're going to do.
Bring Ben Roethlisberger back.
But Cincinnati, this is a good scheme change for you guys. Like kudos, seriously. And I hope no one gets PC and says that it's racist or anything.
So
no,
all you gotta do is.
Why would it be racist?
They should honestly change their names to the Snow Bengals, honestly, and just wear that every single.
Honestly, last year with the way they played, they should be called the Snow Bunnies.
That was so sarcastic.
Damn. Swing and a miss. Anyways, go on with what you were saying. They should
I already struck you out and
got you dancing at the plate. Cincinnati, this is a new genre, a new regime for you guys. Hopefully you can take this, and we're still gonna beat your ass 2 times a year. So more power to you.
And can we just honestly say how terrible the Bengals jerseys have been over the last 10 years? I mean, they've just been so boring. I mean,
so boring. Ours are solid white and solid brown. And solid orange. What the hell do you mean boring?
It's
they have color rush though in Cleveland, didn't you know? Which is like, solid brown, orange, and white.
There's the thing is, it's like ours like seems traditional. Theirs just seems overly tacky. That's what I'm getting at. Like it just seems tacky to me. The Bengals.
Tacky, like loud, like
not like boring loud. Yeah, it's just terrible.
What's that one TV show?
I don't understand.
They need like chili.
They both turned into RuPaul.
Maybe it's the fact that it was Andy Dalton in the uniform the whole time, and
this is more orange.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah.
But with Riggs, you had a topic for baseball as we switch gears back to baseball. The standing situation. Go on with your idea and whatnot.
Which standings in baseball do you want to see improve? From the research I've done, it looked like the National League Central was the complete utter shit in baseball. If I'm going to go to some of my notes right now.
So much cussing today.
There goes that Christian Bible camp.
What I just heard. Okay, so the National League Central Division, you got the Chicago Cubs leading it with 34 wins and 26 losses.
Wait, hold on. What? Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, because
COVID.
Yeah. And then you got the Cincinnati Reds at 31 and 29, the St. Louis Cards at 30 and 28, the Brewers 29 and 31, and then the Pittsburgh Pirates 19 and 41. Out of all the divisions in the Major League Baseball, that is the one that is a complete dumpster fire, and that division has to turn itself around, especially if there's going to be possibly fans in attendance. Like, I understand it was a shortened season and a pandemic crappy era of a year, but you got to do better NL Central.
Well, the NL Central's in the same boat as the AL Central. It's all mid-market teams that just can't afford to pay anybody. I mean, it's just a bad division, and that's how the AL Central's been for years. I mean, at least, in the past, they at least had the Chicago Cubs, the St. Louis Cardinals that at least, kept that division alive for a while, kind of the way the Indians and the Tigers have over the last 10 years. But it's bad. They can't afford to pay their players, and when they do, like Detroit did, paid Miggy all that money, what happened?
Flopped.
Right down the tube.
Yep. I mean, honestly, the thing is, if I'm looking at like what would be the worst division this year in baseball, I honestly want to say it's going to be, I want to say the AL East, the one with the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Devil Rays. Yes, I'm calling them the Devil Rays. The Red Sox aren't going anywhere after trading Benintendi. The Yankees are going to be the top team in the Rays, and that's it. Everybody else is going to be so far behind.
Isn't the Blue Jays in that division
too? Yeah, the Blue Jays too. I had a hiccup. That's why I didn't finish.
No, you're fine. No, I was just like, I was trying to help you out.
But like, I'm trying to find last year's, like, you had the Rays that were in first place, and it was just one of those random things that you didn't expect to happen because it's the Rays. It's a small market team. But this year, I don't think the Rays are going to have the same success. The Red Sox are going to be bottom of the cellar. I think the Blue Jays might surprise a couple people just because they have George Springer and a bunch of young talent, too. That second generation with Cavan Biggio, with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And even on that note, too, I want to kind of go back to something that isn't hit on too often. Baseball is marketing. Like, there's no face of baseball.
Okay, how do you
change that?
Where you have Tom Brady, Peyton Manning as a face for years.
Basketball is LeBron James. Baseball, who do you have? It's not Mike Trout. He's not stepping up. Trevor Bauer, maybe because he does these momentum series.
Well, that's because baseball is a totally different type of sport. The only face you could actually have is probably a pitcher, and they still only pitch one out of every 5 games. I mean, you don't have anybody that plays every single play of every single game. It's not like that. I mean, you only get 4 at-bats a game. You're playing defense, and you maybe only get 2 or 3 balls hit to you a game. It's impossible to be the face of a sport when, like, the amount you actually do in a game is so little compared to every other sport.
Like, when I think of the face of baseball, like, when I was a kid, I would think of, like, your Derek Jeter. And then the older I got, I was like, well, maybe it could be Tim Lincecum.
Wouldn't it be Mike Trout?
But he doesn't. There's no. Technically, it would be if he stepped up, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't go the extra mile. That's why I say Trevor Bauer would probably be the face of baseball more because he goes above and beyond. He does these series with his teammates. He's in LA now, and I feel like that's the right way to do it, is build baseball around him. But Mike Trout isn't doing anything. He hasn't had a winning season. He hasn't been in the playoffs in 10 years, and he's had a career-long 10 years. It's been that long, and he isn't in the playoffs. And he seems like he doesn't want to be in the spotlight either, and that's why it's like Mike Trout doesn't make sense because if anybody right now besides Bauer, I think maybe Lindor because of that market, but he makes dumbass comments and you're going backwards then. There's no... In the past, you had faces of baseball and you had Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can do the same thing with Trout.
I know they even... Mark McGwire was so popular, they named a McDonald's sandwich after him.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm going to have to
Big
Google
Mac.
it.
Remember they call him Big Mac?
I don't know if you're being an ass.
Marketing,
got it.
I just want to hit you in the face. That's all right.
I'm over here.
What were you saying though?
I can't remember.
God dang it.
Oh, did I pull a Peyton there?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Terrible joke, man. Joke. I caught myself.
Wait,
no, you
didn't. I did.
It came out clear as day.
No, it didn't. Rewind it.
Hey, let's see it. It says it right there. What did
We
it
all
say?
look.
What did it say?
Nothing.
You got close caption.
Terrible joke, man. I caught myself. No, you did. I did. It came out clear.
Leaped it.
Man. Anyways, so on that note, going back to football, we're jumping all around. We're just waiting for Stephen R. Smith to come here, and it's about 8 more minutes.
I thought you said he was already here.
He's in the hallway.
On the couch.
I'll just go get him.
He's literally just shaking his head at you.
Do you want me to... You can't even see anybody.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, all right.
Anyways,
Okay.
what are your guys' thoughts? This is something that happened last week after the Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford trading with the Rams and the Lions.
We talked
about that, but we didn't talk about Carson Wentz being traded to the Indianapolis Colts now.
Wait, we're going from baseball to football?
We're jumping around.
First of all, I got one more thing I want to say about baseball since we were talking about the
we talked about baseball for
NL
an hour
Central.
long.
Since we talked about the NL Central, what are your thoughts about Nolan Arenado in St. Louis? I mean, that was one heck of a trade. I mean, that was like a slap in the face to your Colorado Rockies fans with that trade.
Honestly, I like the move in some ways if I'm a Cardinals fan, but I don't know how they're going to mesh together with Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt.
They play different positions. Why wouldn't they mesh?
More
you got
opportunities in the
you got
lineup.
somebody to protect. You extend the lineup. That's what we were talking about earlier. You extend the lineup. Now they can't pitch around Goldschmidt. Now they can't pitch around Arenado. You have that guy to protect you, which means they have to face you.
But I'm used to, obviously, every good thing that happens in Cleveland to baseball never lasts. So I'm worried about drama happening between the two of them, and that's why I'm looking at it from that perspective. Like, what if it's similar to, like, I don't even know when was the last time there was issues in the clubhouse, but, like,
what?
I don't know, like a Yasiel Puig, like a cancer.
Albert Bell caused problems.
Yeah.
In the
yeah.
all
That
the
was
time.
20 years ago.
Yasiel Puig was
ago.
a year ago or 2 years ago, so that's more recent. But
He
it's
didn't
like,
cause problems with Blackman. Everybody loved him.
if they loved him, why isn't he here?
What does that have to do with anything?
His contract, dude.
He's a free agent for 2 years.
Yeah, because he wants too much
He wants
money.
too much money. That's exactly why we didn't sign him.
And that could be an issue to some clubhouses. I got your back. That could be an issue to some cheap clubhouses like our own.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? What?
He's having my back.
No. That
And if you're not getting paid, then that's going to make people unhappy, and then I'm going to
Yasiel
cause
Puig
drama.
is the ultimate teammate. I mean, the guy
Yeah,
found out he was traded and still fought for the people he was been playing with.
No,
in
he fought to
Cincinnati.
be an ass.
No, he didn't. He fought for his
He
team.
fought for his team.
No, like, that's
Yes.
so dumb that
So-
he did that.
all right, so-
because that's not even your responsibility anymore. You're not even with
Hey,
the Reds, and
so-
you're like, hey, this is my podcast, but I'm going to join this other one, which is like Blue RPMs or something, and it's like,
Oh.
I'm going to jump there, but I'm
pretty
going to
good, dude.
get in a fight with you beforehand.
All right, so
no,
what-
it doesn't
so-
work that
so-
way. I'm
so-
not fighting here and jumping somewhere.
So what would happen if Keith decided to fire me right now, and then after I walk into the parking lot, I'm in my car and I see you get in a fight, and I don't get out to help you? What's that make me? Oh, it's not my responsibility anymore.
Agree to disagree?
Sure.
Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, it's the miscellaneous segment. We're talking about whatever. We're talking about whenever. Only change is everybody's here. Stephen R. Smith is subbing in.
Cool.
Riggs is out because
I'll
he
see
has
you
a
guys
phone call.
next week.
It's all good.
Yeah, he has. You got work, Giant Eagle, right?
Yes.
I'll sit out. That way Riggs can sit in with Stephen R. That's fine.
Anyways, we'll be back on the We Like Sports podcast. Riggs, I know you got to go, but on your ride when you're leaving, you're gonna end up like manscaping or something, right?
How fast does your hair grow back?
What?
You're
Oh, because shit. Okay, I'm like
This
this.
is like just use Nair. Be done with it. Like, this is a lot of work, dude. You have to, like, it's literally every 3 hours.
Oh,
You're like it's like a flower growing in a cartoon, you know?
Someone's gonna see me on the streets and be like, "Hey, you told me to shave my balls."
But you're
3
not gonna
times a
answer
day.
it, you're gonna be shaving your balls.
Right? Use the promo code SPORTS with the Z, SPORTZ. And while I'm driving home, I'm gonna use the ball shaver,
While
the ball
you're driving?
deodorant. Yup, I'm gonna have.
Manscaped better give you a ton of money. Because if
I
you
want-
could do that with that lawnmower while you're driving on these roads, you'll be good to go.
And I won't get pee on my forehead. We'll be right back on the We Like Sports podcast.
Your
Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTSWITHAZ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped, and use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
And welcome back to the We Like Sports podcast with Keith, Peyton, Austin,
Riggs, it is. I told you.
Brothers, I want to thank you once again for having me here on this
That's
show.
not Riggs. That's Stephen R. Smith, bro.
Well, Riggs just left. He's still part of the show.
Yeah.
And Stephen R. Smith,
Steve,
welcome.
Thank you, brothers. I love and enjoy being on the show in the most picturesque ways ever. And your back and your posture looking and definitely great. And I believe that you need a 8 kg for your heart because you're absolutely losing your mind on your own show, brother. So
I learned from you, my
AKG
friend.
has heart. Didn't he just get chest compressions on the way to get you?
For my Uberist lift, yes, we were making sure we were doing the 1-2 with the clears. I had to make sure the brother was safe.
Okay,
the
but
brother
why
was
is
my
the EKG then?
your heart. Because it was too much. It was too much flubbertition built up in his arteries. The flubbertition. Let me explain flubbertition to you. Have you ever seen the movie Flubber?
Yes.
I know you've seen the movie Flubber with Robin Williams, and then you got a petition. Imagine that inside your body. That's your flubbertition. That's why he was sweating so much with the perspiration.
The what?
Perspiration. When you sweat. Aren't you an athlete or don't you work out? You perspirate when you sweat. And then when you dry off, you perspire.
Oh, wow. So, Stephen R., last week you missed the show because you were out at Arizona?
I was in Arizona and it was hot.
It was what?
Hot. H-A-W-T.
Well, no, back to our previous conversation. I don't know if you're saying heart or hot.
It was hot. Hot. Like the Miami Heat. Hot.
Like Miami Heat has heart? Or Miami is
Miami hot?
It's hot. Like it's... It's so hot that you need something to drink.
So anyways, you were at Arizona and it was hot and it was pitchers
Looking
and
at
catchers.
that some spring training, the pitchers and the catchers are reporting, and I'm not talking about a weird off-brand movie. I see a bunch of stuff from the grapefruits, from the people in the grapefruit league, and I'm not even talking about those cacti leagues. The people I seen, the pitchers and catchers, I like the fact that I'm seeing catchers work on in the gym. They're doing squats, they're doing lunges, they're doing leg lifts because you're sitting down crouched behind the plate for so long and so many times in the game. I got a chance and an opportunity to talk to my friend Yan Gomes, World Series champ Yan Gomes, the man with the cannon behind the plate Yan Gomes. Yan Gomes, who kind of looks like an anthill, Yan Gomes. And I'm proud of my man, and I'm happy to see him. And I want to talk to Asdrubal Cabrera.
How does somebody look like an anthill?
Long face, stone body, an anthill.
You mean an anteater?
Brother, I do more than just sports.
Oh my God.
I know a little bit of geology. I know a little bit of animals. I am a little bit country, and I'm a little bit rock and roll.
So, Stephen R., what's your favorite country song, man?
My favorite country song, I gotta go with my boy, Darius Mother Rucker with the Mama Rockin'. Rock me like a wagon wheel? Let me explain a wagon wheel. Let's go to the 1996 NBA Finals when it was between the Chicago Bullies and the Seattle Supersonics and Tails.
What about the New York Knickerbockers?
Oh, man. Mother, we're going to talk about... I fucking hate you. We're going to talk about that on the car ride home. Believe you me.
You mean the Uber lift home?
The Uber lift home.
I thought you guys had to take an Uber.
It was the
He
Uberist
Uber
lift.
lifted live to like the airport.
But back to the NBA Finals, it was guys like your Tony Kukoc passing the balls to Steve Kerson. Steve Kerson ended up taking the Golden State Warriors to 3 to 4 NBA championships versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. One of the best NBA Finals I've ever seen in my entire petitious life.
So how the hell does that work with pitchers and catchers?
Because it was hot. The pitchers and catchers, I look at pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training first like this. Remember back in high school for orientation when you only had the freshmen there first before the sophomizians and the juniors and the senior pins show up for the rest of the days? Because you got to have the classrooms to yourself. You want to get these guys and these gals organized before the big herds come storming through. So why not little brother can walk through the classrooms and the hallways safe and secure before the other senior classes get there? That's why I like pitchers and catchers reporting, because they are the foundation, they are the brick, they are the masonry foundation of the National Baseball League.
What? The NBL? Austin, you gotta ask him a question. He's frozen.
Stephen R. Smith. Stephen R. Smith, what's your ideal first date?
My idea of a first date is this, brother. I want to wine and dine the lady. I'm going to play a little bit of Sade. And then we're going to go to a little bit of Eminem while I feed her M&Ms. And during all that, brother, are you okay? Because you're spitting just like the ladies do with me. So what you want to do is, you want to get a little rest and relaxation. And then we're going to watch a New Jersey Nets game with Wes Unseld. Wes Unseld is Kevin Love's godfather. The man is browner than a paper bag you get at a bodega. And Kevin Love shares the same skin complexity with you guys. And I'm going to get her, wind her down, wheeling, dealing. And then we get done watching that game, my brothers.
This is all during a game?
This is all during the game. And she's going to ask me, Stephen R. What does the R stand for? And I'm going to say, baby, it means rar. Because I'm going to pretend I'm a Toronto Raptor when I get up on that. It's going to be Jurassic Park. The ideal first date for Stephen R. I pay for everything. I wine her. I dine her. And if I don't like her, I spin her behind her.
Stephen R. Next question. Are you an Android or iPhone guy?
Android all day. The only time I got an apple is when my mother dropped it from the tree and I caught it with the mouth. That is the only time a brother like me is an apple. I am an Androidian. I like the fact that I can just not rely on a stupid pontificate app like you do on the iPhones. I like the fact that my Android reminds me a lot of the Terminator. Let me tell you about the Terminator. And I'm not talking about Randy Moss. I'm not talking about Randy Jackson. I'm talking about Android phones are better than the Apples. Because you ain't got the pairs to get off the iPhone.
Aren't you gonna yell at him as so unprofessional?
Unprofessional. Look, the man, he lacks sleep. He's going through a lot. He's allowed to be unprofessional for one moment because me and him are on somewhat of the same practitious level.
Factitious. Could you use that in a sentence?
Factitious.
That was a sentence.
That was a sentence, but I'm gonna give you the definition of factitious.
All right,
factitious. Factitious. The way LeBron James packed Andre Iguodala in the NBA Finals was factitious.
Holy God. So what are your thoughts about facial hair then, Stephen R? Because we have a Manscaped sponsor that's all about the ball hair. I want to talk about the face hair though.
Oh, let me tell you something. Every once in a while when I get a chance, I like to get my goatee. But you know, I'm kind of in a Rocky IV situation where it's cold outside and there ain't no Russian I'm fighting. But I got to get the beard nice. I got to get it thick. But the next time, brothers, you see me on this show, I will have the goatee and I will have the lineup looking fresh to death. Rather my one man does it or Cisco the barber does it.
Anyways, as we were talking earlier, Stephen R, we missed out so much. So I don't want to do it, but I'm going to have to. What are your thoughts about this new sport, fan-controlled football?
I think it's nothing but a bunch of people, fans that are on controlled substances, watching this game and doing things like this. I don't want to look at no particularly fruititious ways of some guy named Andrew Paxson sitting on his couch trying to call plays for your guys like your Johnny Football, your Johnny Sniff Sniff. What is going on with that? To me, honestly, you are just giving people, your average Joes, a way to feel important in a sport that they probably never got off their ass and they never played before for their rec centers. For your Pee Wee, your Pop Warner. To me, I think it's completely asinine and tutti frutti Rudy for them to do that.
Stephen R, who do you dislike or like more? Colin Cowherd or Skip Bayless?
Or Max Kellerman?
Max Kellerman, we just got some personal food issues to the side. Colin Cowherd, I think you're a Colin Cowherd. I believe that you look like Kevin Bacon. And I don't like bacon, brother, for my own particular reasons. What was the third name you had just told me?
Skip Bayless.
Skip the Dip Chip Bayless. You probably double dipped at the ESPN food party. You nasty snacking with your teeth. Eating, man. I am the best sports intelligence man on the sports 4-letter network, and I don't want to be rude or I don't want to sound brash, but I am probably one of the best here. Can I start off with a subject and a conversation?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, brothers. This whole week I've been watching a little stuff from this thing called World Wrestling Entertainment. And during World Wrestling Entertainment, I've been noticing this guy. His name is Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, he is a Hispanic Puerto Rican sensation. And have WWE lost their everlasting breadbasket mind putting this little man as one of their recent constituous champions?
Well, I mean, you got to understand, Stephen R. It'd be the same situation for you. This is a title that doesn't really mean anything, and as we talk about wrestling,
but correct me if I'm wrong, Mr.
They do the same
Wrestler.
thing with you, though, Mr. Stephen R. Smith.
When?
You talk to them. You have a Twitter.
You're a wrestling guy.
Ben Bunny doesn't even have a Twitter.
You're a wrestling guy, right? Correct.
Yeah.
You.
And Austin knows one too. What's wrestling?
So, him being the 24/7 champion of the World Wrestling Federation Elites, doesn't that tell you that 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year, that he's not important? I think he might be a little bit better than your Bill Goldberg, your Seth freaking Rollins, your Becky Papecky Lynches, your Ray Short Ant-Man Mysterios.
Stephen R. Smith, are you telling me that you want to watch wrestling with me? Is that all you're saying?
We can watch wrestling, but man, the Bad Bunny's got the hops. I seen him jump all over. Yo, Cleveland, man, Michael the Miz Mazzani, congratulations on winning the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. But the way Bad Bunny pounced on you, you better hope to God that he's not sterile, because there's going to be a whole lot of coming out of you, Miz.
A whole lot of what?
A whole lot of Bad Bunnies.
Coming out of him.
The way he pounced this on the Miz was like a Tigger. Tigger's bounce. In the 100 acres of the forest. Haven't you ever read anything in your life painting Christopher Robin?
Christopher Robin? You do look like Piglet a little bit.
Do you see what Stephen R. Smith has to put up with?
Stephen R. Smith, let me ask you this.
I was talking to the camera. You have to see what I have to put up with. I am the current Getting the Ring champion, correct?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Where's the belt?
The belt is being fervetized and Melissa-pized by Rachel Pennies and a few of the people from ESPN. We're going to get it glorious, and it's going to look stuperistic, fantastic. You're going to think your boy Nature Boy Ric Flair made it. You're going to think your boy Tom Brady has 7 to 8 teams of these things. You understand what I'm saying? The belt will be here next week, and I will be here too.
Oh my. So are you defending this belt?
I'm defending it in threesomes, foursomes, battle royals. Your boy is gonna do it. I'm going on an international. I'm sweating just like you was a little bit earlier. I'm going on an international. I'm doing it to her. I'm gonna do this to anybody on In the Sports podcast that wants to go after Stephen R. Smith. And the R is gonna mean I'm gonna get rude with you. I'm gonna low blow you in the belt just so I can keep my championship. So I'm not done, brother. I am the dirtiest player in the game today, and you haven't even met my baby, who is my exact twin.
So the R.
Brother breathe, brother breathe, brother breathe, brother breathe.
So the R.
Sister breathe.
So the R stands for retaining champ.
Retaining, ridiculous, rambunctious, rawr. Radical, rude, rambunctious, Rudy 2, Candy, you know what. LeConte, brother, I see you in the other room, and I hear you. You need to let me do my own thing.
I thought LeConte left.
It's okay. All right.
So anyways, who are you defending the Get in the Ring championship against?
I would defend that belt against anybody, anytime, any place.
It's against
anything.
Riggs, though. Are you ready for next week?
I'm ready to defend it. Some of y'all might be thinking I'm going to defend it against myself. Shout out, MC No Walk.
You had a question?
Shout out to the producer, Tyler. Shout out to KM Voice. Shout out to the coach, and the hooligans.
All right. What's the get in the ring topic? Are we doing that now, or are we waiting until next week?
We're waiting until next week.
You're not gonna do it I want to see him do a match. We need to see how good he is. I want Austin and Riggs. I think, or I'm sorry, you're not Riggs, right?
I don't particularly think that we all looks alike.
Okay. So, I think Austin might be a little bit nervous here because
knees weak, arms are sweaty.
Mom's spaghetti.
All right, next topic.
Well, you were. What was the topic for Get in the Ring? If this is happening,
are we gonna do it?
Yes, we're doing it. Why not? You got a timer?
Yeah.
Did you just say shit?
No, I said yeah.
What's the topic?
Should defend one. So it's Frankie Lindor actions okay? Frankie Lindor actions not okay.
I guess I'll go first.
Why do you look like you're
okay.
Get in the ring at the end, I guess.
I don't really think that his actions are really that good for his look. I feel like it's probably a really bad thing for him to do in New York. And I also think that Cleveland fans are really disappointed in him. And I feel like he's not going to get a very good contract from this, comments that he made. And I think he's kind of ruining his career with, just going into, that type of market. And it bad for him.
And stop. Stop. You're good. Calm down. You got 2 points. That was terrible.
Why you look like you're going to throw up?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever been more nervous for a match in my life.
Anyways, all right, we got Steven R.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Guess we're starting.
Frankie Lindor is a bad mamma jamma who probably wears a pair of nice damn pajamas. Frankie Lindor is a man who needs to get what he deserves. The man also helped take the Cleveland Indians to a World Series that hasn't been inside the 1990s. Frankie Lindor, the women love him. He's Mr. Smiley. He is going to be a decent-sized Macintosh apple in the Big Apple, and he is not going to get eaten alive. I don't see no worms inside his apple, and if I'm the Cleveland Indians front office, you just lost your baddest bitch in the whole entire world, and now he's going to show you what he's going to do between those Twin Towers and the NYC.
Time.
He got 10 more seconds than I did, and I don't agree with the way it was scored.
Look at him.
Stephen R. Smith wins.
I'm perspiring over here with all this sweat.
Perspirin. What is it?
Perspiring.
You have to go to the bathroom.
Perspirin or perpicerin?
You have to go to the bathroom.
No, it means I'm sweaty. Did you see what's coming up from my nose? In my forehead, brother.
Yeah, you got pee on your forehead.
No, I cannot stand you right now, brother.
I thought only Riggs did that.
Yes, only Riggs did that, but no, I just...
Riggs also only instills sex swings, too.
Yes, he does.
Do you hear about that, Stephen R. Smith? What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm gonna let Riggs know right now. Riggs, brother, you was one goofy, dumb son of a bitch for that. I don't know what conflicting pivoting you was going through at that time in your life that you needed so, but brother, I've been reading your Facebooks. You've been reading on some books, and you've been doing your little light studying.
How do you spell perpicerin?
PURXPUSSIN. 500 milligrams.
What?
I don't know if that was right.
Why is that coming up Ukrainian?
You forgot the umbat.
It is an SUD. What? It's the passage of fluid through the circulatory system or flanges into an organ or tissue usually from delivery of blood. Shit, you might be right. It might make you sweat. It makes me so mad.
So, what were you saying, though, about Riggs and his sex swing?
The man has a lot of issues that he needs to clear up. The man has been finding himself, and I believe, young man, setting up a sex swing for an ex-girlfriend is no way to find yourself. You're going to find yourself end up in a stickier situation.
Because of the sex swing?
Because of the sex swing, yes.
Okay.
I would have never, ever done that. Nobody on the ESPN, the CBS, the NBC. I don't care if Dick Ebersol wanted one and Troy Aikman was going to watch. I will never do that.
So you wouldn't even do it for your boy Max Kellerman?
Huh. Max Kellerman, it better be on a Saturday that we both have off.
Wait. Hold on. What's that even mean?
because with conflicting work schedules and everything, I'm doing the 35 and he's getting the 40 hours a week. So some days when I'm on a Tuesday and he's off, and I'm also working that.
When you're talking off, you're meaning like off work, right?
Yes,
Nothing
off
else?
work because
Okay.
he worked on Montisuous Day, and I was supposed to work on Montisuous, but I ended up working on Tuesdays.
What is Montisuous Day? I've never heard of
Montisuous, the first day of the week. I'll end up working on Tuesdays Day.
Sunducious is the first day of the week.
Sunducious, technically, yeah.
On a Ruby Tuesday.
How come you can't say Monday? But you just said Tuesday just fine right there.
Tuesdays.
Right, but you just said Ruby Tuesday. Now you're head.
No, he said Ruby Tuesday.
Are you hungry?
Alright, go ahead.
So, Stephen R., what's the craziest thing? Since Riggs installed a sex swing for his ex-girlfriend, what's the craziest thing that you have done as an individual in your 36
The
year
craziest
life?
thing, brother, let me tell you, because I'm older than every single one of you. I got pants older than you. I got Michael Jordan shoes older than you. And I got certain adult magazines definitely older than every single one of you. The craziest thing your boy's ever done, let me tell you. 1982. I wanted to see Willis Hicks play in the Garden. So what I did, I took my kissing cousin with me, and we snuck to the Garden. Took 2 trains, walked 5 minutes, and we stole 3 hot dogs from a pigeon. And when we did that, yes, from our mouths we took them from the pigeon. And before we snuck them into the Garden, Bruce.
Wait, hold on. What'd you sneak into the Garden? The pigeons?
Oh my god.
The hot dogs.
Okay.
Did you have a job at this in 81 or whatever?
82, brother. I was
82?
11. I was 11 years old in 1982. So me and my kissing cousin went to the Garden.
That was a kissing cousin.
They could.
We went to the Garden to see Lenny Hicks play. I wanted to see him drop 40 on guys like Walt freaking Frazier. I wanted to see that. So when me and my kissing cousin took the 4 trains, walked 5 minutes.
I thought it was 2 trains.
4 trains, walked 5 minutes to go to Madison Square Garden, took the hot dogs from the pigeon's mouth with my tongue. As before we walked into the Garden, the guy at the front gate who looked a lot like Bruce Springsteen with tight acid wash jeans looked at me and he said,
Did you just say a guy had a tight ass?
No, tight acid wash jeans. He looked at me and he said, young brother man, young brother man, can I see your tickets and stub? I said, I ain't got no tickets and stub. So as I'm looking up at this big hoopa-doop, my kissing cousin ran right through his legs. And then I was able to turn around and I was able to see Willis Hicks go down 45 plus in the Garden in 1982. And on the way home, I had to run home because I was almost grabbed in the city that never sleeps.
Why didn't you just take the trains back?
Because we had to take the opposite way back. We had to walk 4 blocks and get the 3 trains back to where I was coming from.
That doesn't make
Rick. No. Stephen R. Smith.
This is like one giant blooper. That's all.
How did you graduate school?
Legitimately.
How did you graduate high school, Stephen R. Smith?
Let me tell you.
And how did you graduate college? How do you have a journalistic degree?
I graduated. Somebody is very foolish.
What's ringing?
I graduated from a high school in the upper New York. I graduated from a high school.
It was Tyler.
I graduated from a high school in the upper New York's Bronx area code. It was PS 420 and a half. That's the school I went to. And when I graduated after my 3rd year in the 12th grade, I decided to go to Gonzaga-ish University College. And I remember, brothers, when I was on this show talking about I would make trips down to spring training and driving back up to New York City. I was doing that in college. And let me tell you something, in college, brother, I was only making $2 an hour doing that. And gas was cheap in the 90s.
What year was that? In the 90s?
This was in 1990, Figures 2.
1990 Figures 2?
Yes, because
on the, put in the figures.
On the way home, I was listening on the radio and of the 92 NBA Finals. And it was Walt Frazier and Walt Disney taking on Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals.
You can sue those people. You were only making $2 as minimum wage in 1992. The minimum wage was $4.25.
Oh, that's close to $4.20. What was that? That was the year you graduated?
That was my high school I went to, brother. Pay attention.
Okay, repeat your high school again.
PS 420 and a half.
Yes, public school 420 into Hafsky.
But why were you... Man.
So when I was in college and I would going on the road back and forth. I'm on the college and I'm going. I'm gonna tell you what I went to college for exceptionally first.
Okay.
I exceptionally first went to college for a putatorium.
A pudatorium?
Pudatorium. I was
He
supposed to-
pudatorium something in somebody.
What is a pudatorium?
Pudatorium. I was going to be a chef making pudding. So instead, I decided to go with my first sports, and that was sports. And a guy named Willis McGahee told me, Stephen Ara, you have a sports thing. Put the pudding stuff down, brother. Get the pudding off the hand, and you need to worry about putting this into this. So from there, I used to drive from Brickersville Park, New York, from watching the New York Jets and the Yankees playing practice, and I'm driving down to watch the Mississippi Mud Hens. And from watching the Mississippi Mud Hens, I'm driving up and watch the Rochester Cucamonga Roosters, and I'm also doing reports for them, and I'm getting paid $3 and a Pop-Tart, and not even the rest for gas, just to get back. And then in the year 2000, I was picked up by ESPN. Are you over there crying about my success story?
Yeah, he's very proud of you.
I was picked up by ESPN in the year 2000, and me and MC Kellerman, we were interviewed at the same time. We roommate together. We
build sex swings together.
Oh no, me.
You guys use sex swings together. That's what you said earlier.
No, you must be out of your big tit fippering, ever loving college, not having mine, brother. See, look, I don't.
Spent 3 years.
I don't discriminate on anybody's sexual preference, but brother, Stephen R. The R doesn't mean I don't get down like that. Now I just gave you guys my success story, my upcomings, and my time bringings on here. Am I understood? Now, continue.
Okay, so we got about a minute left. On that note, next week, We Like Sports Podcast. Are you here 7:30 to 9:30? Are you going to be here at least at one point, Stephen R. Smith?
I will be here and I will be lined up. I will be in the most tepperish shape of my life. And I'm ready for LeConte, Riggs. I'm ready for you to get in the ring, brother. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong, wearing slippery dong shoes in Grandma's room.
And Austin,
on YouTube.
Austin had one more thing to ask you before we go off the air. I don't know how it's going to treat you, but... Austin, what'd you have to say? You had a question for him. You were asking about him.
I don't manscape.
That answers that. All right. Honestly, what are your thoughts? We didn't get to this at all. Cleveland Indians, Eddie Rosario. What are your thoughts on it?
Eddie Rosario. Huh. Thank goodness you don't look like Rosario Dawson, the actress, because they would just be stage bombing you all over. I've watched you hit in Progressive Field many a times, and now that you are actually on the good side of the team, I hope that good Cleveland Lake Erie air goes through your pituitary veins in your body, and you have a good baseball season for the great people in Northeast Ohio.
What's pituitary?
Pituitary is your vascularity.
What's vascularity?
Breathing.
Last things you got to say. Hurry.
I don't install sex swings, Max Kellerman. I never ate that chicken paprikash. Rachel Nichols, Rachel Dimes. Will you go on a date with me and I'll give you that $100?
What?
Bye.